What's up guys, Steven here, welcome back to a new review. So I bought my girlfriend a tablet almost a year ago, and since then we had issues with the device, and in the last couple of months it actually stopped working. So my girlfriend said, can you advise me a new tablet? And I was looking at the brand new Huawei Mediapad M3 Lite 10-inch version, which looks pretty good because price to performance ratio seems to be really okay. It has pretty good build quality, it has an eye care filter built in, so it's basically that blue light filter which removes stress from your eyes, and it has also pretty okay battery life. So well, today I'll bring you a full review of this device to tell you if it's worth it or not. So let's go. With its standard look, the Mediapad M3 Lite is far away from being a design revolution, but its build quality is amazing, just like all 2017 Huawei devices. The tablet comes either in a mix of black and grey, front and back, or entirely in white. Now both models are encircled by a silver metal frame. While the body is not made out of one single block of aluminium, we're getting a nice metal frame and a very good feeling in our hands. Around the 10.1-inch screen there is a black bezel, and there's also an 8-megapixel front-facing camera above the display, and underneath there's a fingerprint reader. The fingerprint scanner works as good as the ones from Huawei smartphones, so you can unlock the tablet fast and easily. But to be honest, it looks a bit weird in portrait mode. So there are 4 Harman Kardon speakers in total. On the top and bottom there are 2 speakers each. As you might expect this price point, the speakers are not the best in the world, but very good in its class, making it a real Mediapad. Unfortunately, even though we're living in the year 2017, there is still no USB Type-C port. Instead, Huawei is still using the older micro USB 2.0 connector, which I think I don't even have at home anymore. It has full OTG support, and you can use it to charge it or to connect accessories like USB drives with an adapter. We have got the 4G version, which comes with a micro SD card slot to extend the internal memory, and a SIM card slot as well. Now there are standard phone and text messaging apps. In fact, it works just like with your Huawei smartphone. With the 4G version you can also do calls, which is pretty cool, and the small difference of 50 euros makes me definitely buy the 4G version, so there is no point on getting the Wi-Fi version for me. The volume and the power button are located on the right hand side, and they feel stiff and nice to press. At the top you can find, luckily, a headphone jack to complete the media experience. As I've told you before, there's an 8-megapixel camera on the back, so the front and back cameras have the same resolution. The cameras are definitely not outstanding in terms of image quality at all, but certainly fine for snapshots. And the front-facing camera is also very decent for video chats using Skype or any other app. The main purpose for my girlfriend is really using it for studies, and there she needs a big screen, a fast operating system, and a good battery life. For sure, the 4G version has also some extra benefits. The Mediapad nails it here on all points. So the Mediapad 16x10 1920x1200 display is slightly higher and not as wide as a 16x9 display, which makes it better suited for office work or browsing the web, but also less suitable for watching movies. Brightness is a bit lower than on the high-end tablets, but still bright enough to also use it outdoors. However, colors are accurate and saturation is really on point. Inside of the Mediapad M3 Lite 10 runs a Qualcomm Snapdragon 435 system on chip. Even though it's an octa-core chip, it's really not the fastest one on the market, but it's sufficient for most users. Now my version has 3 GB of RAM and 30 GB of internal storage, and the storage options vary a bit by country though. If you don't want to play heavy 3D games, the performance is fine though. I didn't have any issues when browsing the web or doing my studies. In fact, even the split screen view runs very smooth. But what's best on this tablet is watching YouTube and Netflix, and thanks to its 4 speakers and pretty good sounding 3.5mm headphone jack, it's really a pleasure. So heat is no problem on the tablet, thanks to its mid-range SoC and plenty of space inside the large case. The Huawei Mediapad does not heat up, and even under maximum load it still stays cool and feels nice in my hands. Now Huawei has installed its so-called Emotion UI, so EMUI, version 5.1 on top of Android 7.0. Most modifications when compared to pure vanilla Android 7 are in the design and some handy features like screen recording, split screen and much more. So you will be very familiar with the tablet if you have used a phone or tablet from them in the last couple of years. Now there are a lot of apps pre-installed as well. Maybe a bit too many, and Huawei did include a lot of other apps, which you cannot remove, but at least there is no malware included here. The Mediapad M3 Lite has a battery with a capacity of 6600 mAh. Not the biggest one in the market, but in my battery tests I got a movie playback time of almost 12 hours. However, in normal use, I got something between 7 to 8 hours of usage depending on connectivity and screen brightness. So overall, battery life is really not bad on the tablet. Now the only downside is that charging the battery takes a long time. It can take more than 5 hours to go from 0 to 100%. Now quick charge would have been a nice feature on the tablet, but usually I put it on the charger every night, so not an issue for me. Summarizing, the Mediapad M3 Lite 10 is for consumers in search of a tablet for web browsing and content consumption that doesn't look the part of a cheap plastic toy and works reliable. However, if you're looking for a tablet for 3D gaming or raw graphics power, then the Mediapad is probably not the best choice. But if you want to do Netflix and chill or just watch your favorite movie or series, then you have found the right tablet for you. Alright guys, so we're now here at the end of this review. All in all, I have to say, this tablet looks pretty well built. It's definitely more expensive than other tablets with those specs, but to be honest, it's from a reputable brand like Huawei, and you will definitely have a lot of fun with this device. And if you buy a budget tablet, there can be a lot of issues and it's pretty hard to claim warranty on them. But here, this tablet looks quite okay for the price. You can find more information down below in the description. If you have any questions, also post them down below into the comments. And if you want to see more about Huawei devices, up here is a playlist of smartphone, tablets and much more. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Steven from Tech Magnet and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a nice day.